Israel has intensified its offensive in Gaza. Israeli forces are advancing into the Shejaia neighborhood in the northern part of the Strip. They also moved deeper into western and central Rafah in the south. This comes after Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that his country will not stop fighting until they achieve victory over Hamas. Meanwhile, hundreds of ultra-Orthodox Jewish protesters clashed with the Israeli police in central Jerusalem yesterday. The protests follow Israel's Supreme Court asking the state to begin drafting Jewish seminary students into the military. Israeli law mandates that citizens serve in the military from the age of 18. However, ultra-Orthodox Jewish seminary students were largely exempted from this law. In Turkey, at least 15 people were arrested for participating in a banned LGBTQ+ Pride Parade march. The arrests came after hundreds of people attended an impromptu Pride march in Istanbul. The Turkish police eventually intervened to stop the rally. The authorities blocked major roads and closed several metro stations to stop the parade. In France, citizens voted in the first round of the country's two-phase parliamentary election. The country recorded a voter turnout of around 67%, which is the highest in decades. The second round of voting is scheduled for July 7th. Exit polls after the first round of the French election show that Marine Le Pen's far-right National Rally Party is in the lead with about 34% of the votes. The National Rally's lead has triggered massive protests, with thousands hitting the streets of Paris. Protesters set off flares and torched trash cans during the demonstrations. 3 people were killed in France after a small plane crashed onto a motorway in Seine-et-Marne. The aircraft reportedly crashed near Disneyland Paris after hitting an electric power cable. According to Ukrainian officials, Russian forces attacked the center of the city of Kharkiv with a guided bomb. The attack allegedly killed 1 person and injured 8 others. The strike torched buildings and vehicles in Kharkiv, which is Ukraine's second largest city. According to South Korea, North Korea test-fired ballistic missiles today. This comes after North Korea criticized a joint military exercise by South Korea, Japan, and the US. Pyongyang has accused the trio of forming the Asian version of NATO. A Chinese rocket by the private company Space Pioneer crashed during a ground test yesterday. The first stage of the Tianlong-3 rocket detached from its launch pad due to a structural failure. The rocket then flew into the sky only to land and explode in the hilly region of Gongyi in central China. Argentine police officers clashed with protesters who were demanding justice for a missing child. A 5-year-old boy has gone missing in Argentina's Corrientes province. His aunt said that the child had been fatally struck by a vehicle. However, the protesters say that she is involved in the child's disappearance. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has appointed a new cabinet. 20 of the 32 cabinet positions have gone to Ramaphosa's African National Congress Party. The Democratic Alliance Party's leader, John Steenhuisen, has been given the Agriculture Ministry. After protests against the Kenyan government's proposed tax hikes turned violent, President William Ruto has said that he will uphold the rule of law. The remarks come amid demands for his resignation. Ruto also announced plans for deep spending cuts after withdrawing his contested Finance Bill 2024. At least 18 people were killed in a series of suicide bomb attacks in northeastern Nigeria. The blasts have also left 19 people severely injured. A hospital, a wedding, and a funeral were targeted. All 3 attacks were carried out by women suicide bombers. Now for climate news. The Caribbean is bracing for an extremely powerful hurricane named Bery. Officials have warned that it is currently churning in the Atlantic Ocean. It is expected to make landfall in the Windward Islands. Weather warnings have been issued for Barbados, St. Lucia and Grenada. Meanwhile, a state of emergency has been declared in Tobago. Meanwhile, Tropical Storm Chris has made landfall in the eastern coast of Mexico. It happened yesterday. A storm warning was in effect in parts of Mexico's eastern coast. Forecasters say that the storm is likely to weaken today. Rainfall has caused 5 major rivers in India's northeastern state of Assam to swell, leading to floods that have killed at least 2 people in the last 24 hours. This takes the state's total death toll to at least 34. Floods triggered by heavy rainfall have impacted over 262,000 people in Assam. Floods in Switzerland have killed at least 4 people. Officials say that 3 of them died in a landslide that was triggered by torrential rain in Switzerland's southeast. At least 2 people are missing. Rescuers have evacuated about 300 people in the flood-affected region of Valais. Flooding and mudslides lashed Italy's Valle d'Aosta region yesterday. Rescuers evacuated around 200 people via helicopter. Meanwhile, 120 others were moved out of alpine villages in the neighboring Piedmont region due to torrential rainfall. Meanwhile, people in Sicily experienced a new heat wave on Sunday. Temperatures in the southern Italian region reached as high as 40 degrees Celsius. Authorities issued an orange alert for 17 cities in the island, including Catania and Palermo. Greek firefighters are battling 2 raging wildfires near Athens. Authorities have deployed 23 water-carrying aircraft to tame the blaze. The flames that have engulfed houses had earlier triggered evacuations in nearby areas. Now for business and tech news. U.S. prosecutors want Boeing to plead guilty to fraud over 2 fatal crashes involving its 737 MAX jets back in 2018 and 2019. In 2021, Boeing had reached a settlement that allowed it to avoid prosecution for those crashes. But the U.S. now says that Boeing violated the terms of that 2021 settlement. If Boeing pleads guilty, it can avoid a criminal trial over the 2018 and 2019 crashes. However, a guilty plea by Boeing could complicate its ability to get U.S. government defense contracts. Boeing has agreed to buy airline part supplier Spirit Aerosystems for $4.7 billion. Boeing added that it is going to be an all-stock deal. Spirit is being valued at $37.25 per share. Spirit will also be selling its Europe-focused operations to Boeing's rival Airbus. Amazon has hired top executives from AI startup Adept to improve its artificial intelligence technology. David Luan, Adept's co-founder and former chief executive officer, will also join Amazon's AGI autonomy team. The announcement comes amid fierce competition over AI between various technology conglomerates. Apple is reportedly planning to bring artificial intelligence to its Vision Pro headsets. However, the new feature won't be launched until at least 2025. Last month, Apple's artificial intelligence system was introduced with new features such as an improved Siri and custom emojis, among other things. South Korea's SK Hynix plans to invest about $75 billion in its computer chip business by 2028. SK Hynix, the semiconductor arm of the SK Group, is looking to strengthen its chip manufacturing business and focus on AI. The company will also be investing $3.4 billion on its data center business. South Korea's exports increased in June for the 9th consecutive month. The demand for artificial intelligence and technology have given a boost to Seoul's exports. An increase in car exports has also contributed to the surge in South Korea's overseas sales. BlackRock is set to acquire private capital database provider Preqin for $3.2 billion. The world's largest money manager is looking to become a major player in alternative assets. The acquisition will allow BlackRock to oversee risks and analyze data across fast-growing markets for private assets. French technology company Atos has reached an agreement with its creditors on the terms of a debt restructuring deal. About $3 billion of Atos's debt will be turned into equity. Atos says that the latest agreement with its creditors is a significant milestone towards reaching a final restructuring agreement later this month. Major technology firms have led the global markets in the first half of 2024. The combined market value of Nvidia and other big technology giants rose by $3.6 trillion. Billionaire investor Warren Buffett has revised his will. He has decided to discontinue donations to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation after his demise. Buffett's wealth will be allocated to a new charitable trust managed by his 3 children. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. Indian all-rounder Ravindra Jadeja has announced his decision to retire from T20 internationals. This comes after India's ICC Men's T20 World Cup victory. Following the win, Indian skipper Rohit Sharma and batter Virat Kohli had also bid farewell to the format. Jadeja has confirmed that he will continue to play for India in other formats. India's cricket board, or the BCCI, has announced a prize money for the team that lifted the T20 World Cup trophy. BCCI Secretary Jai Shah said that Rohit Sharma and his team will get a staggering 125 crore rupees for winning the World Cup. The men in blue defeated South Africa by 7 runs in a nail-biter of a final to end India's ICC trophy drought. India's new head coach will take charge from the Sri Lanka series. This was announced by BCCI Secretary Jai Shah. The board is yet to officially announce who will be replacing Rahul Dravid for the position. Former Indian opener Gautam Gambhir is tipped to take up the job as the new head coach. India will tour Sri Lanka for a limited over series starting on July 27th. Former Indian cricketer Dinesh Karthik has joined the IPL team Royal Challengers Bengaluru as their batting coach and mentor. He had retired from all forms of cricket in June after the IPL ended and now comes back in the camp as a coach to share his expertise and experience. Karthik's first stint with RCB started in 2015. In football, Aston Villa midfielder Douglas Luiz has signed for the Serie A club Juventus. The 26-year-old Brazilian, who has inked a 5-year deal. The deal is worth over $53 million. Luiz, who is playing for Brazil at the Copa America, has completed his medical for Juventus. England have booked their spot in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Euro 2024. It came after a nervy 2-1 win over Slovakia. England were trailing throughout the game after Slovakia took a lead in the 25th minute, but Jude Bellingham netted a stunning equaliser in added time for England. After that, Harry Kane headed in the winner to help the team avoid a major upset. The 137th Wimbledon tennis tournament begins today. Carlos Alcaraz begins his title defense at the Grand Slam against Estonia's Marc Lajal. Also in action on the opening day will be Italian sensation Jannik Sinner. Over in the women's draw, top seeds Coco Gauff and Aryna Sabalenka will also begin their Wimbledon campaign. U.S. gymnast Simone Biles has qualified for the Paris Olympics. She came first in the all-around competition at the 2024 U.S. Olympic gymnastic trials. Biles finished with an overall score of 117.225 over a period of 2 days and automatically grabbed a spot in the 5-member team. In Formula One, Mercedes racer George Russell secured an unexpected victory at the Austrian Grand Prix. He capitalized on a crash between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris in the 64th lap. McLaren's Oscar Piastri finished second, and Ferrari's Carlos Sainz Jr. came third. Russell's victory marked Mercedes' first win since the 2022 season. Francesco Bagnaia cruised to his third consecutive Dutch MotoGP victory. The Ducati Lenovo driver was ahead of everyone from the start in the 14-lap race. Jorge Martin, who rides for Pramac, came in second. Meanwhile, Bagnaia's teammate Enya Bastianini came third. In entertainment news, with every passing week, Inside Out 2 is setting records, and now it has become 2024's first film to earn $1 billion at the global box office. It grossed $469.3 million in North America and $545.5 million internationally. Inside Out 2 has now become one of the 11 animated films which have earned billions at the box office. The 2024 BET Awards took place in Los Angeles. Here are the highlights. Killer Mike won Album of the Year for Michael, and Usher became Best Female and Male Pop Artists of the Year. Victoria Monet took home the Video of the Year award for On My Mama, and Tyler was honored with the Best New Artist of the Year award. Meanwhile, American singer Normani didn't perform at the BET Awards. She took to social media and revealed that she injured herself while rehearsing for her show. Normani was slated to perform with Ice Spice, Cardi B and the Jungle Brothers. Taylor Swift was stuck on a raised platform while performing in Dublin over the weekend. She was stranded mid-air after the platform failed to retract. However, despite this technical mishap, she didn't miss a beat. The rapper Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, has been sued again. He's being accused of fostering a toxic work environment with racist remarks. The lawsuit also claims that Ye's wife, Bianca Censori, sent inappropriate content to his staff. Lupita Nyong'o revealed in an interview that she had been terrified of cats her entire life. She said feeling suspicious of cats, and she said that she felt suspicious of cats and wouldn't be in a room with one. But in her recently released film A Quiet Place Day One, she silenced her fear. She plays the role of Samira, who navigates through hardships with her pet cat by her side. And Nyong'o has now even adopted one cat. A new love story seems to be taking shape in Hollywood. According to reports, Paul Mescal and Gracie Abrams are dating. The alleged couple were recently spotted enjoying a cozy dinner date in London. Neither of them have yet commented on these rumors. Eric Dane revealed in an interview that he was let go from Grey's Anatomy. He also clarified that his struggles with drug and alcohol addiction were not the reason for his departure from the series. Dane played the role of Dr. Mark Sloan for 6 seasons. Actor Dominic Raines has bid adieu to the medical drama series Chicago Med after season 5. He played the role of an emergency room surgeon. The reason behind his exit has not been revealed yet. Demon Slayer, the animated series, will release in theaters as a film trilogy. The latest episodes of the anime franchise will be developed as films. The makers have promised to present viewers one of the truly epic and consequential pop cultural events with these films.
It's over! for the net.